This is a How Is He podcast with Podge and Papa, proudly sponsored by Amplify. Power up your podcast. Let's kick it off.
Welcome back to the How Is He podcast. Joined as always by my co-host, Paul Popadoling, right here in the fantastic facility. This Amplify studio right in the heart of Carlow town. This episode is brought to you by Carlow Estimating, the go-to team for contractors, subcontractors, suppliers and manufacturers who want accurate and competitive project pricing. Visit carlowestimating.ie and find them on your favourite social platforms. Tonight we have a man from the heart of Carlow to the world's fastest track. Today's guest has built a career on power, precision and pure Irish grit. He's an Olympian, a European finalist, a national champion and one of Ireland's most electric sprint talents. Known for his explosive starts, relentless work ethic and his ability to rise when pressure is at its highest. He's also in the top 5 Irish fastest men of all time within 100 and 200 metres. And he continues to push boundaries to what Irish sprinting can be. Whether he's storming 200 metres, inspiring the next generation, representing the green jersey on the global stage, Marcus Lawler embodies speed, spirit and the unstoppable drive of an athlete chasing his limits. Marcus Lawler, welcome to the podcast. How are you?
It's a fair intro, lads. Thanks a million for having me.
There's no problem at all. It's late when you sent it to me, actually. It was... You're not...
Cheeky bugger, isn't he?
Talk to me about media. You're not... you don't see him much on the media circuit, despite all the success you had down through the years. And
yeah, I suppose it's an interesting one. Look, I'm always available for interviews and things like that, but probably, I suppose, social media... probably quiet on that front. Yeah, look, probably
why is that?
Not active.
Distraction?
Look, it's just not me, I suppose. I just believe in, I suppose, doing my work on the track, and I want to get my times down, and I suppose I have close people around me that anything that needs to be shared or told, it's to them. Probably to my detriment in terms of maybe sponsorship over the years and stuff like that. People would probably say that I should have put myself out there a little bit more, to maybe gain some more. But look, I try post a few results and maybe some little bits of training now and then. But yeah, look,
it's not a world or an avenue that you want to kind of explore. But I like the point you're making, because you look at, especially the Radisha, Sophie Becker, Charlie Mott, like they have such an online presence, like it's...
Yeah, and it is interesting. I mean, some like a lot of athletes have huge following as well,
yeah.
And I suppose, look, it just depends on how active the people are and how active the athletes are. But for me, I'm probably not active. But look, that's just the way it is. I don't train any less harder than anyone else, but maybe it's not maybe seen as much. But. Yeah.
Does that, we haven't got to the questions yet, but we're going deep already, right?
Oh yeah.
Does that matter when you're chasing success? Like, does the world around you matter when you're working so hard to chase success, and your understanding of where your success is, right?
I'd like to think it doesn't. Like, I'd like to think the performance speaks for itself, and that's always what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
I suppose, was deliver a performance that can't be questioned in the sense of it's good or it's brilliant, and that's just the way it is. But I don't want to dicky up any kind of bad performances online or social media, or put up that reel of a race that maybe I was actually bad in. I don't really. Okay, we can make that look good, but I don't care. The time wasn't good, so that's the way I view it. But yeah, look, as I said, there is athletes out there with a huge presence on it, and that's okay too, and they're probably getting some rewards in the sense of on the track and their success, and also from lots of different sponsorships as well. So,
yeah, but I think it's important that you outline that's not for every, like, not that you outline, but that's outlined that that world isn't a given. Even though it is everywhere, it's not a given to people. And some people don't want to be on Instagram or on TikTok or on Snapchat or Bebo, whatever it's called nowadays.
Yeah. Well, look,
it's admirable, right?
Yeah. Well, look. I have an account on all these platforms as well.
Well, where can we find you? Follow you there.
That's I am on them. But look. Yeah, and then maybe it's just my nature. Like I am probably modest and, but yeah. Look, that's yeah.
We'll get into the questions, Bob. Talking about childhood, talk to me about your introduction to sport.
Right. Yeah, look, introduction to sport, I suppose we grew up, community games is the big one. So when you're with us in our parish, I suppose, well, initially it was actually with the Burn area, I suppose, and then committed to Ireland Kerry, but where we lived, it was community games, and you know, you done your community games, you played soccer for St. Joseph's, you played football for Tinryland, and so that was it. So I probably threw my hand at everything, or well, a lot of things, and in school as well, you know, I was very much, and the club, you know, very much part of it all. Loved GA growing up, you know, probably just had to make that call on it in the sense of, you had to just give it up and focus
How
on
old
what
were you at that
was. I was playing minor football, so
under 18, 17 maybe.
yeah, whatever age that
Bit
made
county?
me. I never went in to underage, I suppose, yeah, but I never went in above that because training load was just too much between running and club, and yeah, I suppose I kind of stopped at minor, and I remember I competed in a European junior final in 2013. There was three British guys beat me. Actually, I finished fourth. It was a stacked final. I actually think 7 or 8. There was 8 in the final. I think 7 of them guys ended up in the Olympics.
Wow.
European junior final, yeah. So it was a really stacked final. But I finished fourth, disappointed, and I think 2 weeks later I was back kicking ball. You know, and so
Great
yeah,
tradition out that way on community games, right? Did you compete at Mosney?
Yes, I did.
Will we have
compete in
crossed paths?
Mosney.
Will we have crossed paths around that time? I would have been to Mosney nearly
God,
every
maybe
year.
so. Lads, I don't know. Yeah.
Who was the
no.
name? Chris. What was the second name from?
Yeah, Chris Cleary. Yeah,
Chris
yeah,
was
yeah,
the
yeah.
sprinting coach.
Yeah, and he done lots of relays with us as well.
Yeah,
And
gentleman.
yes, and we had good success at relays. Relays were great fun.
Yeah.
Loved the relays. Still loved the relays. Like only just recently there we picked up Team of the Year at the Athletics Ireland Awards.
Congratulations.
So that was,
Sorry for not
a
putting it in the
nice-
intro.
Yeah, you know, it was a nice one to have as well. But with the 4x1, but that's where that started. You know, you're getting you've broken national record and get Team of the Year at the Athletics Ireland Awards at senior level, but that started at community games level, really. Like you know, here out in Ardaten, and so yeah. Look, there was that was brilliant. I think I got a gold medal out of Mosney the last year. It was held in Mosney. Couldn't win all the way up actually, but eventually in the last year Mosney I did.
You got there.
Yeah, my sister won under 8s and 10s maybe, or in around that age group anyway as well. So
Did you enjoy Mosney?
yeah, it was great. I suppose, yeah, it's always good memories, like, you know, and I think running on the grass with the bare feet or the socks, that's kind of that kind of idea. It's
earthing.
It moved on to Athlone then, and and obviously that's the tartan track, and it's better surface, and now it's in SCTU Carlow, and again, like, you know, you're talking about like world class facility now.
Yeah.
It's on, so it's no longer that
Rawness.
going over the grass and the bare feet. It's now kids are turning up in spikes, and you know, maybe a bit more drilled than we were, although our relays were always very well drilled, to be fair. But yeah, that's the way it is now. So yeah.
I remember bringing an indoor soccer team down there. We won Leinster. Bobby Dolan was on it, and we were playing like on carpet.
Yeah.
Crazy, isn't it?
And I brought down an Olympic handball team. We won Leinster. We won the All Ireland, and it was played on carpet.
Yeah.
Like it was everything. Like it was. You played at pitch and putt,
He
right?
got silver and pitch and putt in Mosney, yeah.
Like it was. I was fascinated by it. Like it was everything.
Oh, I must say it's a great event. Like it's super. Like, and I think the vast kind of, I suppose,
range of sports.
Yeah, and I think
Outrageous.
that's the thing. And there's a crossover, and lads will be doing. You know, we run on the track, but I'm also on maybe the tag rugby team at one stage.
Yeah.
You know, so it's great. It is great.
The community games is fantastic.
Oh,
you know, I think
love
it's
it.
absolutely brilliant. I think it brings parishes together. I think it promotes kids down the right path.
Yeah. No, and I
Crowds
think-
at it's unbelievable, isn't it?
And look, it's very much alive here in Carlow as well. And look, there are pockets as well where maybe it could be improved too in different areas around the country now. I'm talking about nationwide, you know, because I visit schools through the Dare to Believe program with Team Ireland, and I often ask that question, you know, like has anyone here, are you involved in the community games? In some places you get loads of shows of hands, and other places maybe just some of the class are showing their hands.
Really?
So it's very much alive here. We're very lucky in that sense, you know.
In
as
what?
well, so.
In big towns?
Yeah, it depends. I don't have anywhere, I suppose, specifically that comes to mind, but yeah, just some places just there's large pockets and others there isn't. It just
It's crazy.
Maybe it's just
I would have said once upon a time it probably filtered everywhere, like.
Yeah, I often remember it being kind of nationwide, you know, and that'd be my memory of it, like, you know, and maybe it has come in new in some places, and maybe it's filtered away in other places, but it's definitely very much alive here, and I think it's a fantastic event. Yeah,
I think it always will be, won't it?
Yeah, I think so. I hope so. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
But it always gets good. It always gets really good sponsors behind them, and I think. Who's Aldi Little now? Was it?
Karen.
Or Karen, isn't it?
Is it? Yeah. So there's the.
Talk to me. I'm intrigued to know about your pathway and representing Ireland. Like, what age did you first break into Ireland? What does it mean to you to get there? Like, did you understand the importance of it when you got there, or how the magnitude of it even?
I suppose representing my country is everything to me. Like, that's always what I wanted to do. Always wanted to get to an Olympics. Still have dreams, I suppose, of breaking an Irish 200 metre record. You know, like looking up to the likes of Paul Hesh and David Gillick, these guys over the years when you were small. But I suppose I went to the European Youth Olympics in 2011. So that was kind of the first... I suppose proper one, maybe, if you like. Now, previous to that, like, you would have maybe gotten to schools, internationals, Celtic Games, those type of things where you're getting the vest, but the real championships type of thing. There was the EYOF, the European Youth Olympic Festival in 2011 in Turkey, was my first kind of real taste of it. And that was a tough one as well. Finished 5th in the final there, and at the time it was kind of like end of the world stuff, you know. But I learned a lot since then, and obviously had a big journey since then as well. And hopefully it's not finished just yet either. So so you kind of, that's European Youth Olympics 2011, World Juniors 2012 as a youth. European Juniors 2013, World Juniors in America in 2014. You know, right the way up, and then it becomes 2015 European Under-23s, and and 2016, I suppose, was the first time in the senior championships, European Championships in Amsterdam, 2016. So that was kind of where. Yeah.
But like, how are you getting to these events? Like, talk to me about the journey.
Yeah.
Like, how are you getting to your first junior Europeans?
Yeah, so there's qualifying standards in every event. So to I suppose to get to, say, European Juniors or European Seniors and Olympic Games, there is a qualifying standard. So that's whatever the mark is for that particular age group, and you have to hit that mark. There was a case over the years where it was an A standard, which was quite steep, and a B standard. If you hit the B standard twice, you get in. So I remember that scenario in, say, like the World Juniors in 2000.
What is it, a time mark?
It's a time. Yeah, it's a time. Sorry. Yeah. So you have to beat that time or better that time. So I do remember the World Juniors in 2014. I was shy of an A standard, but I needed 2 B standards basically. And that has changed again. Like, the standard kind of has come out of it since Tokyo Olympics. It changed. It became an A standard, which was extremely steep.
Right.
And that was the plan. There was for that to fill 50% of the field, so there was 56 places. And then to fill the second half of the field, it was world rankings. So that was your 5, an average of your 5 best performances over the qualification period.
Oh, a point system kind
point
of thing,
system.
Yeah.
So a qualification period is generally like I suppose 12 months prior to the actual championship. So that's when it starts. So yeah, the qualification for the European Championships coming up next summer, that started actually last summer. So so look, you're looking at now all of a sudden, can you get this steep standard, an A standard, or are you getting in via world rankings?
Who's managing that for you? Like, do you as I can only, I'm trying to get into your brain, right? But as a high level athlete, surely your focus shouldn't be on worrying about them things.
Yeah, well, it is. Some athletes have agents, and then depending on the level you're at, they will sort that stuff kind of for you. I feel like I'm constantly fighting for lanes. I don't have an agent. Had someone help me with races around the time of Tokyo, right? Because when it came in, I wasn't kind of 100% sure how this process worked because it was new. You know, I was making phone calls trying to figure it out, and I had someone helping me to get into maybe certain races, and certain races carry more points, and it's hard to get into races as well because you know, everything is improving and everything is getting better and the standards are getting higher, and but yeah, I am kind of managing it myself. I look at, well, like when I say myself, like the people around me are helping that too.
Course,
you know, we're trying to pick and choose races that we and look, you can get bogged down in that stuff as well. Like really, I think for me, probably did get bogged down at one point in it, whereas the ultimate goal shouldn't change if you just get out there and run fast.
Yeah.
And if you run fast, it's kind of like, you know, this other stuff will kind of look after itself.
But it's I suppose it's very hard to juggle the weight, right? As in, you're worrying about the venue, you're worrying about getting the lane, as you said, you're worrying about, you know, how am I getting there, or, you know, like that's massive.
Yeah, and
like,
it's
that's hard to manage yourself, right?
Yeah, it's a big part of the organisation of, like, I suppose being that, I suppose, high level athlete, and like people have to travel is another big part of it, and obviously trying to arrange accommodation and things like that, and some meets will help with that and others won't, and yeah, look, it is, and you can get bogged down maybe a little bit in it. And I do remember the time at Tokyo, I was constantly looking at the world rankings. Like,
I can imagine.
Where was I? Was I falling into the category? Was I coming out of it? Where was it? Because I was borderline, you know, I was down at that 56 slots. I was always kind of hovering in that kind of 45 onwards kind of bracket, you know. So
added pressure, like, isn't it?
Yeah, and yeah, it is. Like,
it's
there's
worry.
no point in saying
it's worry, isn't it?
Yeah, there's no, well, look, I think I'd like to say I've improved on it as well, that we kind of shifted the focus towards just to get out and run, and I've gone to smaller meets now whereby I'm not worried about that. I know I can definitely get into, and okay, maybe there's a bit more organising myself, but at least I know I can get into these races, I can get a good lane, and the track will be fast, and if I get a good time out of it, well then maybe I'll be able to step up a level. Maybe a meet will have me in another 2 weeks' time.
Have you a favourite lane in regards of what lane you're running? Say, oh no, I don't like lane 2, or I want 5, that's my lane. If I have a chance, it's today.
Yeah. I'll take any lane, lads, really. You know, I bar one in a 200 is a bit of a disaster. I'm talking about 200 now.
Because of the bend.
The bend, yeah. And that's what happens. You know, I remember 2019, I was going into the World University Games, and so you had to go through your rounds. You know, you went through your heats, top 2 or 3 getting out of the heats, top 2 or 3 getting out of the semi-final, and then the 2 fastest non-automatic qualifiers get lane 1 and 2. And the semi-final, I finished 3rd, and it was one of these non-automatic qualifiers, you know, and I got lane 2, and it was kind of like going into World University Games final, like lane 2.
Didn't want it.
Yeah, I didn't want it. It wasn't ideal, but I just flipped it, and I just said, look, they're all outside me. I can attack this and go after everyone outside me, and that is obviously a particular standout memory for me. I got a bronze medal that day.
Yeah.
And it was just a shift in the, I suppose if I had qualified as an automatic qualifier, I would have been in lane kind of 4, 5, 6, which is your ideal probably. Some guys like an outer lane, but yeah, look, 2 was good to me that day.
Does the lane change your approach to the race?
It probably does a little bit, to be fair. If you're outside, if you're kind of in lane 7 or 8, you're almost running. These guys are all, because of the staggered start, these guys are all inside me. Like, I need to get out of here and like get away from these guys, but still focusing on form and stuff. But if I'm probably maybe lane 3, lane 4, and there's a few lads outside me, you're kind of like, right, let's target these guys and let's try pick up who I can.
Isn't it crazy to think though that, because you've said it, right? All I have to do is go and run fast, right? But then you get your lane and you're like, I have to run fast, but also, you know, I have to think about, because I would never see a short distance runner with a tactical approach.
Yeah. Look, maybe you're kind of, it depends whether you're inside or outside. You have that little, I suppose, idea of how you're going to do it. But you talk about, I suppose, tactical approach. There's probably a little bit of visualization involved as well, coming around the bend and off the bend and into the home straight. Like, I think there's no better feeling in the world than kind of coming off that bend into the home straight.
Yeah,
You get
yeah.
that kind of, you're almost flying, and then it's just kind of trying to hold your form down the home straight as well. But yeah, so yeah.
Talk to me about visualization. How we had on Everett on here, do you know on?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And he basically kiboshed sports psychology. Right? He basically put in the bin, right? And you mentioned the word visualization. Is that something that you can practice or train for? Like, talk to me about that.
Yeah, I think it's something that you can definitely practice. I have worked with a sports psychologist in the past. Definitely found it quite useful. I do remember times where I was visualizing some races in my head, and you're sitting in the sitting room, but your heart rate starts to raise, and it's almost like you're on the track, and I can really kind of see myself there, and that's why I think it can work, because, and maybe periods of time where like you're injured, and maybe like this is an area where, okay, well, maybe I can write out a scenario that might happen. You know,
I'm so sorry, I have to stop you. The heart rate going up now was after striking a chord at me.
Yeah.
Are you on your own when you're?
Because
the way you started, like I'm sitting down in my sitting room.
Crazy, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? The Simpsons is on, and I start like. When you're visualizing it, are you visualizing everything except your movement, like your physical movement, because it's visualization? So your breathing, I presume, is similar to what you'd be doing if you're running.
Yeah.
So you're breathing. I presume you're sitting up straight because the idea is to run to get straight, right? So that, and then it affects your heart.
Yeah, it's just my thoughts, and it's just, and I can play the whole race, and it's not that there's anyone there in the race either. It's actually just me and my form, I suppose, as well. But look, it's not something that I spend all my time on either.
Yeah.
This is something like, this is an
It's
occasion
interesting
thing.
though, right?
It definitely is
For me it
interesting.
is anyway.
Yeah, it is. No, it is. I think it is. I think it's fascinating. And even having a script maybe in front of you that this maybe the possibilities that could happen, or this is how the race is going to pan out, and I definitely think there is something in it. Yeah.
Has your visualization ever been a reality? If you say yes,
yeah,
no,
that's
flip the
well,
table.
yes. I actually have never thought about that. Each race takes on a life of its own, because you rock up to the race and you could be running into a stiff breeze. You rock up to the race, you could get a lane change last minute.
What's the reason for that?
Lane changes, I don't know. It just depends. Some races, again, coming down to lads fighting for lanes, and maybe an agent was promised, this guy is promised lane 4, and all of a sudden things get shifted. So we're lucky to have two very good meets in Ireland, Cork City Sports and Morton Games, whereby, in fairness to me, organisers have always looked after the Irish athletes there, in the sense that I might say, look, guys, I need a good lane here. I know I might not be the fastest here, but
Give me every chance.
Give me a chance against these guys. There's no this. Well, it depends, I suppose. Some stuff is seeded then for the likes of national championships, and depending on if your qualification criteria from heats to semis determines what lanes you get in the.
There's not many outside of athletics, bar a few hardcore fans would know that.
No.
I thought that was drawn.
No. So I suppose like the national final, for example, that's determined on like the top 8 fastest times that got through to that final. It's no different to the World University Games.
Yeah.
I was a non-automatic qualifier. I didn't finish in the top 2 of any of the heats or any of the semis. I finished 3rd, so therefore I was going to get 1 or 2.
Yeah.
So then the other guy that finished 3rd, his time was slightly slower than mine, so he gets 1, I get 2.
I probably sound like ridiculous saying that, because people are like, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
That is what happens.
Well, the winners of those semi-finals that day, I think
They'll
the
get
Brazilian
preference on
guy
the better
won.
lane.
Yeah, so they'll get like, I don't know, 4, 5, 6, or maybe it was 5, 6, 7. I'm not sure exactly, but those middle lanes. So.
How many national titles do you hold?
Ooh, I actually couldn't tell you that. I don't know. Not as many as I'd like.
What did it mean to you?
I think nationals always means a lot. I think it was something that was.
Do you remember them all?
Yeah, I remember a lot of them. There's always the big one though, like in the sense of you're kind of focused on like the major championships beyond nationals, which could be a European championships coming up or an Olympic Games coming up. But now, with the way the new ranking system has gone, the new world rankings, nationals is actually weighted quite highly in terms of points. So if you win your national championships now, it's worth a lot of points to you in terms of for your world rankings. So it's of more value now, and I think it's important. I think it's I think it's important. Yeah, nationals. Yeah.
Talk to me about the Olympics. I can't wait to get to this. I fucking told you, so I was warning you. This is going to be Olympic heavy, right? Was getting to Tokyo your peak, your pro, as in like
as an athlete?
Yeah, the best thing that you've done so far.
Yeah, and again, another good question. I often kind of debate that. I suppose it is, but the World University Games medal stands out a lot to me as well. Because medals are just really, really hard to come by at that those
level.
Championships.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
But yeah, look, I mean, the Olympics are, I mean, it's everyone's dream to get to the Olympics.
Did you get a tattoo?
I did get the tattoo.
Yeah, every Olympian. I think I'll get one myself, actually.
So that was actually, in fairness, that was Thomas Barr inspired, believe it or not, because I suppose he got there in 2016 and he obviously done really well. Obviously, an inspiration, you know, to a lot of the Irish athletes at the minute. And I remember asking him, you know, I need to get the tattoo.
Is
you
it
know,
sore, Thomas?
Said, it's the size of a credit card, he said. And I was like, right, well, we're up to credit
card.
Some
so limit on your credit card, bud. Talk to me about the journey to get there, Marcus.
Yeah, the journey to get there was, I suppose, rewind to Rio 2016. I would have loved to have qualified for there, but I ultimately fell short. I was quite young at the time and maybe naive as well, in the sense to think that, you know, you think these times you can hit them, and I was probably a little bit off it. Not too far off, but didn't make it there, and obviously then hungry to get there again. Now you have to remember this Tokyo Olympics was kind of around COVID as well.
It was a special one. It was a unique one, right?
There was a delay in the process, so I was sitting in a really good position in 2019, and all of a sudden, kind of things
cancelled.
Yeah, like things shut down, and it was put out to 2021, obviously. So, like that. Yeah, and so then it kind of. You just had to park it, and in fairness, they froze the qualification period as well. So, that was important as well. But yeah, look, I wasn't going to hit the A standard, which is steep. I often think the standards are really steep at the minute, but we just have to get better and get stronger and faster with them. So I was going through via the world ranking system, and I was constantly, I suppose, watching this. Was I inside the top 56? Was I outside it? Where was I? And
when you say constant, sorry to go across you. When you say constant, is it like a daily thing, a bi-daily thing? Like,
well, it was updated once a week. So
what day of the week? Oh, curiosity, no.
I actually can't remember. That was a Tuesday or Wednesday. I can't remember, but I was waiting for it
Wednesday
to come
break
up.
Your heart, wouldn't it?
Yeah. So,
you're waiting Wednesday, man. Wednesday to Wednesday is quite a long time.
Yeah, it is.
Same night as Tuesday to Tuesday.
No, Wednesday to Wednesday in your mental mind is a quarter longer than Friday to Friday. Telling you, think about it. Anyway. I'm telling you it is for the mental side of it. Telling you it is. It's a longer time. But you got there, right? You got there on world rankings. Talk to me about the announcement, the call. What's the correspondence tell you? Hey, pack your bags.
Trying to think back now. It seems like a while ago, but I knew because the deadline day was the 30th of June or the 31st of June or somewhere around that, and it kind of was just that those couple of days after, they just tidy up the final 56. This is the cut-off, and I knew that day, even though it wasn't confirmed, that I was going to be there. And then all of a sudden, then the selections come out, and that's it. I mean, you just get the call to go up and pick up your gear, and again, it was quite, COVID was still very much, alive and stuff as well. And we were talking about I suppose getting vaccines to go over there, and making sure that because there was delay that time there, and we were sort of bumped up the list because this was coming pretty fast at us, So, but look, that was it. I mean, I remember going up to pick up the gear. I remember bringing it home and laying it all out on the floor, and it was great. Yeah, well, yeah,
unbelievable.
Yeah, it was. a little bit of relief, like, as well, to be honest. I suppose, and maybe the shackles come off then as well that time, because I was in a way, and you shouldn't chase the standards or chase the times, but I probably was a little bit of that coming into the approach, trying to better some of the place where I was.
Was there a screed of, I don't mean this in a bad way, was there a screed of desperation to get there? Because everyone at your level essentially wants to be a fucking Olympian.
Yeah.
Just to say you were there, yeah.
Do you know?
Yeah, I know I'd be lying if there wasn't I suppose a tint of that as well, you know. It's the ultimate, it's the pinnacle of sport. You know, it's the pinnacle of sport, and
it's a great festival,
so we I suppose we had maybe a few briefings before that and stuff, and we knew where the holding camp was going to be. It was in Fucroy, and we had a great camp there, you know. I suppose flying over in first class, that was another little bonus.
Who'd you fly with?
So,
surely Aer Lingus brought you, was it?
God. Was it Emirates? Did they do the...
Oh, yeah.
Or from Dubai. Did we go to Dubai first? I can't remember, but... and Aer Lingus maybe as well on the way, but it was first class, and that was another little, I suppose, cool little thing, you know. But
I have to take that off my bucket list to go first class.
Yeah. So the chairs going back into beds and all sorts, but travel, look, we were well, I suppose, briefed and prepared for all of that, and every single eventuality was kind of, I suppose, covered, and yes, it was different. I suppose obviously COVID's still there, and when we were in our holding camp, hotel was super 5-star resort, but we were going from the resort to the track for training pretty much every day, you know, and that was kind of the height of it. But I must say the resort was phenomenal. I think it's where the Irish rugby team based themselves when they're over that side of the world as well. So there obviously is that bit of connection there in terms of the sport and stuff. So, but no, a great super camp.
How
really well.
How long is that before you go to the Olympic Village? How long is that before that?
Yeah, we're there for about 3 weeks.
All right, so it's fair. Jesus, that's a long time before, right?
Yeah, I think I have that right anyway. Yeah, I had 3 weeks in my head. Yeah, so there was a good plan to go out. Like, we need to be prepared and know exactly what we're doing, and it was good. It was a very beneficial camp. I actually think I got into like decent enough shape, you know, around that time. You like to think you're hoping to get there anyway, the biggest race of your life coming up, but it's
When do you get your times for your races?
Sometimes you get it immediately. Depends on the race. If they're good enough, they'll get out pretty quick. As the smaller races, you might have to go and wait and check, and then they'll come up. And obviously if you're first across the line, you see the flash time anyway, so you get an idea then. But if you're third or fourth, you might have to wait and see. So generally,
in regards to your first race though, like you get, as I'm running on
time of the day,
Tuesday morning Irish time at 9:30 or whatever time it is over there.
Oh yeah,
so you're like,
timetable.
I have to prep myself around this. Now I have 2 weeks to do this, or 1 week to do this.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm asking?
Acclimatise your body, and all.
Acclimatise your body, then going to sleep at the right time.
Yeah.
I'm in peak condition coming into the race.
Yeah, and there was a lot of that, and even before I left, I was trying to train at the time I was racing. So the timetable for Tokyo and all major championships is well established. Like the one for the Europeans next summer is already out, so I know next summer, please God, I qualify for the European Championships when the 200 is. So, and when I was in Fucroy, I was training at the time I was going to be racing.
Okay.
So all that was kind of factored in, as well. So
is that so? Were you training here on Japan time before you went to Fucroy?
Not quite. But if my race was in the morning, which I think it was in the morning, I was training in the morning times here.
Yeah.
Yes.
So when I get up out of bed, I was prepared in that sense. Yeah.
Do you know what it is though? The old first class travel helps a lot with the fucking.
All the protocol went out the window over there. We had it. We were supposed to sleep at certain times on the flights and all to prepare our bodies and that. But like, it was.
That's hard to do, isn't it?
It's very hard to do. Even all the best trying in the world.
It does make the jet lag easy though. When you can press that button, your seat goes flat.
Yeah.
Everyone's there. Do you want me to make a bed for you, sir?
I was okay in that sense. Funnily enough, but went to Hong Kong this year for the World Relays, and jet lag was very much a real thing there. For whatever reason, just couldn't settle there. Yeah,
was that business class as well or first class?
No, that was.
There you are. You see, telling you.
Yeah. So,
I'm telling you.
But,
tell me this. This is where I get excited, right? You better let me down or I'm going to cry. We're not releasing this episode, let me down. Talk to me about your entrance into the Olympic Village and what a day looks like as an Olympian. From the moment you get up to when you go back to bed. I want to hear it fucking all. But this is on long play. We have all night. Right? Talk to me.
You're getting more excited than what it'll be now. I'm going to let you down here with a bang. But we went to the village 3 days before the race. So we left the holding camp in dribs and drabs because some people were on early in the programme, some people were on later in the programme. So I was actually probably one of the later ones leaving. So the holding camp was getting a little bit more empty as time went on. So we landed in 3 days before. To be honest with you, I'll be straight here. We were after doing so well to avoid COVID the whole time. When I walked into the food hall, there was bodies everywhere, and I mean to say, fellas, the height of the roof, and all shapes and sizes. And I was like, I don't want to get. I don't want to race here. Like I can't. Like if we test,
that's a cunt, isn't it?
we're in trouble here. You know. So that was the first thing. But look, you got over that anyway, and you. Yeah, ploughed on and tried to just be smart about things. And look, it was like it was basic. Like we walked into the room and I was like,
the beds were made of like
cardboard bed.
Remember that?
Really, really basic. Walls weren't plastered. Like it was a step down from a 5-star resort that we were in.
Yeah.
Should be the same, shouldn't it?
Well, I think it was I just think because it was the time it was, right?
Well, yeah.
Like even I've heard Usain Bolt and that said when they were in their pump, like there was a McDonald's in the food hall, and
yeah.
Like was that the case?
Yeah, there was you could get any food you wanted. You know, like in fairness, we were well stocked in that sense. But no, look, it was still surreal.
Sure, what he wants a McDonald's unless you're throwing a shot put or something. You know what I mean? A hammer throw or something. Like, he's not going to be at McDonald's. He's running 200 meters.
You don't look at it, sir. Go a few selects. But even the stories of like basically being a swingers party and things like that. Like even the story that you get a bag with condoms in it and shit. Do you know what I mean? Not to say that you were carrying on like that, but there's just stories and insights, and you hear different snippets of Olympic villages, and I'm just intrigued by it. I really am.
Well, they arrived back at Team Ireland camp via Ciara McGeehan, so she'll take the rap for that one. But yeah, the big box of them came back all right. But no, it was look, it was it was amazing as well. And you're walking around with some athletes that you're probably looking up to as well, and seeing and being like, God, like I'm here as well, you know, with these guys. And no,
like, is it Mosley on steroids?
It must be.
Yeah. Look,
it's 3 and 4 levels above that again, I'd say.
Yeah, it's I'm maybe not doing it a good service here, but again for me the first 2 or 3 races, the first 2 or 3 nights, I was just really focusing on trying to perform. You know, that was the big thing of why I was there. And you know, I suppose when it was all over, there was a couple of late nights.
Yes, Marcus, we're peeling them back. We're peeling them back.
Yeah,
like a mandarin.
It's a good sign when I suppose we were out under the Olympic rings and we were watching guys that were only waking up and going into the food hall for dinner when lads were going in for breakfast. But so look, that was look, there was good fun after it. And
well, is that like you're not in your room making prison hooch? Do you know what I mean? Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, is there options there for a few beers, or like is that facilitated?
God, I
wouldn't say it'd be a smoking area or anything like that. Do you know what I mean?
Wasn't. We probably had to do a little escape to.
Okay, you had to get outside it
to bring home that. But
you're there for the duration, though, right? You're like, if you go over there as an Olympian, you're there for the duration until everyone goes home.
Yeah, well, we had scheduled flights home, so we were probably home. Yeah, we were probably home when it was still on, actually. You know, so probably home when there was still stuff going on. But yeah. So, no, I did bring home the duvet and stuff, and little, I suppose, small memorabilia. There was a nice phone on the bed when we arrived. It was sponsored by Samsung. You know, there was Olympic rings engraved into the back of it.
Brilliant.
And it was nice touch. And it's no, look, it was great experience. I know. Look, it was different, and the guys that went to Paris and maybe Rio before will tell you different stories. And
because of the time it was, right?
It's different. So
it must be some feeling the opening ceremony.
Yeah, and again, you're talking
that
about...
must be some feeling.
Yeah, but again, I was down at the Holder camp when that was on, so I was 3 hours away in Fukurai when the opening ceremony happened. So
That's because of
again,
restrictions, obviously, and things like that, right?
Yeah, and you weren't sent up, and maybe there was an option in Paris for some athletes to go to, but I know some athletes maybe missed that in Paris as well. So people are really focused in on the race as well, and it's I suppose
You're there to do a job also as well.
you see, this is the thing, and I suppose that was kind of the first thing that I was there for, and I was trying to put my best foot forward on the biggest stage at the pinnacle of sport. You were trying to do all the right things, and I suppose the race itself. You see, normally you get a stadium visit a couple of days before it starts, but I wasn't up there, So I do remember walking out of the call room and just again an empty stadium, but it was still surreal, and it was still walking up and the curtains opened and like you're going in here and it's time, like this is it. Look, I actually ran the season's best on the day and finished 29th overall. The top 24 were getting into the semi-final.
Just missed though.
But it was just missed out. But at the same time, I was in truth probably a good bit off. Did you
understand that at the time?
Yeah, I could see a few heats before me coming up, and I saw times flashing up, and I was like, I can mix this here. They weren't unbelievable. I had the eventual silver medalist in my heat inside me. He just swallowed me up, and. But I did enjoy it, and I often say to the school kids and stuff, running with a smile on your face, because if you weren't going to enjoy it, you were at nothing, and I think that was actually my game plan, believe it or not, because I had like a realistic expectation that like I needed to do something special to get into the semi-final, and I didn't do something special.
Did you?
You're talking hundreds of seconds. That's It's not.
Yeah. But did you think that you needed to overachieve to achieve at an Olympics?
Well, my personal best would have probably gotten me into the semi-final, but I didn't run my personal best on the day. So I think maybe another year if it was in maybe a little bit better shape. I was in good shape. It was what it was.
It just wasn't for you, right?
Well, I didn't get through to the semi, so that was it, and that's full stop.
That's the target getting off the plane, is it? Semi-finals.
Yeah, I wanted to get into the semi, but I knew that was going to be kind of still a big task. So it's like you're talking about the best 56 200 meter sprinters in the world. Like it's.
Yeah, like when you put
into the last 24.
See, when you sit down there and you say the word best, like for me when I walked in here, I would never measure things like that. But when you sit in front of an Olympian and he's telling you, 29th, I'm 4 places off final, it's hit me as if like, fuck me.
We're not doing it justice. Yeah.
Like that is unbelievable to get to the Olympics, man. It's a different level.
Yeah, I suppose you always want more, and I'm probably guilty of maybe not enjoying the successes the way maybe I should have, or it was always next thing, and but now to be fair, I really did enjoy that, and I wasn't going to let that pass without enjoying it either, because it was, I suppose, the pinnacle, as I say. But
would you measure it? I keep cutting across you, I'm so sorry, but I'm just a fucking idiot. Would you put it up as your proudest moment?
Yeah, I think that's a fair statement. No one kind of ever has put that to me before, but yeah, that's probably a fair assessment of it. Yeah, definitely. But again, like there's current Irish athletes here that have been really inspiring, and they've really pushed on again, and that like they've kind of opened new territory again, whereby a final or a medal, you're nearly looking at these championships now coming home. If we don't come home with a medal, it's nearly like
failure.
Yeah, it's nearly that, but it's not. But because they've pushed on, and when I came off Tokyo as well, I was like, I'm going to get to Paris.
Yeah,
I'm going to Paris, and I'm gonna try to get to the semi-final there, because I didn't get there in Tokyo. I didn't even qualify for Paris.
Yeah, that's a question that kind of sat with me all day, and I was kind of half afraid to ask you, but I kind of judged what I'm going to ask you. Like, tell me about the feeling of not making Paris compared to the feeling of making Tokyo. Like, is it? I know it's opposite ends of the spectrum, but from a mental place.
Mm.
That must be tough.
Yeah, it was tough, and there was athletes that didn't make it that were kind of very disappointed, and for me, for other sports as well. And to be honest, I wasn't devastated in any way. I kind of knew it was like not gonna a long way off. I was a long way off, really.
At what point,
In
Marcus?
regards to what, training?
Yeah, I suppose the summer before I hadn't hit the times that I was hoping to hit, and the indoor season then following on. So there's an indoor and an outdoor season, and it probably wasn't where I would have liked to have been in terms of my times. And then I was starting to kind of hit a decent bit of form, but I pulled my groin as well. We actually with the relay team to qualify for the European Championships on the same year as Paris, and I was like, well, maybe the European Championships is it's more attainable, and sure that went up in smoke as well. You know, we actually qualified in our qualifying attempt that day, and I didn't even get to run with the team. I didn't even get to roam to the Europeans that year because I was injured. But I had injury trouble as well the year before. My Achilles were not good, and yeah, look, I just knew I wasn't devastated, even though it was a goal.
Frustrated
Maybe, yeah, because injuries and stuff. But like, I think, look, it is what it is, you know.
Are you Carlow's first Olympian?
No, and I
Question,
think,
Papa.
yeah,
Finn Lynch? Is he an
Finn
Olympian?
Lynch was in, he was in Rio, and I think he was in Paris, if I remember correctly. There's a few before me. I'm not going to chance name names. I should know names, but no, I think we've had a few, and hopefully we have many more to come as well. You know, I think hopefully this isn't going to be
Who's
the first
Finn Lynch?
Olympian in here.
Does
Equestrian.
Sailor.
no, on the boat.
Oh, sorry, the Sailor. Sorry, yeah. He done well in.
He's out there from Bennykerry, yeah.
And we had Sam Watson, the same Toka. He was equestrian.
Okay, I knew there was equestrian
yeah, as well.
Do you know what strikes me as well, Marcus? Like, is it accurate for me to say that athletics in Ireland at that level, apart from a handful, is actually a very young sport?
Yeah, you're probably right, to be fair. Yeah.
Like my mind, like in my time, I'm 40 years of age.
Still.
Sonia O'Sullivan is the stand-up.
Mm.
She never won an Olympic gold medal. Like, no, she's a world
champion, right?
But like between Dervla, O'Rourke, the guy you mentioned, I can't think of his name. Sorry, I'm terrible with names. Yeah, like they've all kind of been there. But if you think of the gap between Sonia O'Sullivan to say the Paris Olympics, like look where we competed in athletics, like on the track. Like it's evolved so much. Like do you ever see a time where we are meddling at that level?
Yeah, well, I mean the 4x4 girls came very, very close in Paris. You know, they were fourth. Like, I do think, like, Kate O'Connor again got a global medal at the World Championships just gone. So, like, I think the current crop of Irish athletes have really kind of been inspiring at present and are continuing to break barriers.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I suppose for me, I'm 30 now, so like I still feel like there's another couple of years there for me as well, and they've definitely inspired me to kind of, I suppose, keep going as well. But a lot of them are young, yeah, as well, you know, and yeah, look, hopefully it continues in that way, and hopefully we get better and better. I do think the standards are higher now, but I think we're raising our standards. I think there's an abundance of talent. I think the coaching knowledge in Ireland is getting better. Facilities, yeah, as well, and but yeah.
Where's the next ones?
Olympics.
Yeah.
The next Olympics is in LA in 2028.
Well, talk to me.
But there's a there's a lot of stepping stones before that. You know, my next target is hopefully qualify for European Championships next summer, in Birmingham, and I won't be really looking any beyond that.
That's it. That's your end goal now. Is Birmingham?
Yeah, and to be honest with you, indoor season's coming up is what we're targeting, which is January and February. So it's those months that you're targeting. So
do you believe you can get there
to the European Championships,
to the Olympics? Let's just say Olympics.
Yeah, I think I think the standard is going to be
High.
even pushed on again, because it has completely changed from Rio 2016, where the standard was 20.55 to get in. It's completely moved on to that. So I'm going to have to get down to my PB level, which is 2040 or better again. And I have to get at the right time. You see,
Yeah.
I suppose it's like the Paris thing. You're saying, oh, should I be in Paris? I was injured. Things weren't going well. You can't predict that. Is it my goal? Is it my aim? Am I going to hang around till then? Absolutely. But really, I just want to have a good indoor season coming up. I want to hopefully qualify for the European Championship next summer, and then we start.
Yeah, it's a good way of thinking, because you can't guess the hurdles, right? You can't guess what roadblocks going to be put between now and the next Olympics, LA. You can't. So I understand your mindset as you're like, well, indoor season is next, then it's Birmingham, and then it's whatever, and then it's whatever. So it's like it's micro steps instead of the macro.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I think I think there's lots of things in between. There was even the 4x4 teams were going well at the time. The last couple of years, obviously, as you would have seen with like the mixed relays and probably the women in particular. But again, I started to throw my hands at 400s then to try maybe squeeze onto those teams. So like I was at the European Indoors earlier this year. We finished 5th in the European final there. So on the mixed relay, and then we went to World Relays in China. So there's that element that you just don't know what's going to happen. The 4x1 team broke the national record, and if we've put ourselves in a really good position there to qualify for the European Championships again next year. And you just don't know what, I suppose, momentum that can take.
Yeah.
And you don't know what, it could be a 4x1, you could be looking at 4x4, you could be looking at 200 individually. Are we better together in relays?
A lot of decisions to make, right?
Probably, yeah. And
you have to be selfish in like, if you want to get to these things, you kind of have to know your lane, excuse the pun.
Yeah.
But you kind of have to know, well, if I stick with this 4x4 here, we're flying.
Yeah.
I'm going to be selfish here, and I'm going to attach myself to them, because we're going to go places here.
Yeah, and look, I suppose everyone's first protocol is individual as well, but the relay, I suppose, success recently has kind of pricked some ears maybe, and you're trying to put your hand up and trying to get on those teams. But yeah, you talk about selfish. I mean, you have to be selfish in the sport. It's really, really cutthroat. Your performance is your performance. The time on the clock is the time on the clock. It's either good or it's bad. If you're 10% off your game or 5% off your game, it shows up on the clock.
Yeah.
That's it. If I'm 10% off or 5% off in a match maybe, or you might score 1-2.
Yeah.
You make the headline on the paper the next day.
Yeah, I get you.
You could score a screamer.
As good as the singles is, though, Marcus, the relays are fascinating in regards of, you could get lucky with not with the draw, but you're like, you would know who can be a little bit faster than you, but know who you're faster than.
Yeah.
And you're like, Jesus, the third leg is after being fantastic. Ran out of skin here.
Yeah.
I can pass this lad out.
Yeah. And lads,
in the singles, it's just completely different.
Yeah, no, definitely. And there's drop buttons, there's drama.
Yeah.
Lanes.
Obviously lanes involved in everything.
Yeah, there's a lot goes on in relays as well. It definitely is a fascinating one. I think people can do actually better than what's maybe they are on paper in relays as well. Some people get a baton and they just seem to fly, as well. So, but and then there's the skill. There's a certain element of skill in passing the batons, particularly in 4x1. And you have to nail that, and you have to be confident with that as well, because
use the high five method.
if you mess that up, it's
high five.
we don't go with that. God, if we went to that, we'd be in terrible trouble.
What is the actual method of it?
It depends on this. It's 4x4 or 4x1, but we use the push pass in the 4x1, and I suppose your viewers and your listeners, if we're looking up clips on YouTube and stuff of 4x1, I suppose relays, you'll see there's a huge element of skill involved in that. Like,
massive skill.
And trust in teammates and stuff as well. And I think it's an exciting time for the 4x1 team in particular. I think the current crop there, like we have kind of 3 out of the 4 fastest all-time 100-meter men are right now running. So like that's why the national record went last year, because our fastest crop are running. But also we put a lot of time and effort into it as well in camps and stuff. But I think that one could be an exciting one, you know.
It's definitely.
You look at some of the women that drop the baton. You're not surprised because their nails are longer than the fucking baton.
yeah.
Ain't they though? There was some of the American ones. Like their nails are like the length of the baton, and you're like, you can't catch the baton.
It's
or
funny.
hold the baton.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that as right as well. There's big personalities in athletics too.
There is, isn't there?
At the high end, there's a lot of style. There's a lot of.
But they're the people who's obsessed with the social media side of things, where they get their money from.
Yeah.
But I love athletics. And I did often do flicker into the NCAA level of America, and it's more, you see the women's, I'm not trying to come across as fucking misogynistic ranting, but sometimes you look at the lineup for the women's 100 metres, right, at that level, it's more like a fashion show in Milan than it is, or like they're coming in and they are decked, decked to the highest level. No, they're unbelievable athletes, don't get me wrong, and they're rapid, like they're, so like I think, Jesus, one of the rest I watched was like under 10 seconds won it, female 100 metres, like rapid.
No. So in fairness, I think athletics is it's a phenomenal sport, really. And I think sometimes the viewers, I suppose, don't really understand, with respect, I suppose, the actual feat that the person or the athlete has achieved. I don't know if you're watching the two Johnnies the other day, but Kate O'Connor was the two Johnnies.
Oh, late night lock-in.
Is that the competitors, is it? But no, look, they had Kate O'Connor on, and Kate O'Connor's PB, 6.
She's a Calon, is she?
Yeah, at Plathlon. So 6.3 meters in long jump, and people see that on the results board and see her jumping into a pit, and it's like. But when they actually got the measuring tape out in the pub and the length of it, and it's phenomenal. It's a phenomenal feat, how high these guys can high jump, how fast, and you mentioned the speed of the women, like a lot of some of them are at the really top level running 10 seconds, as you say. So like they're really hitting super, super high speeds, and
that is realistic though when you pull out the measuring tape.
Yeah, but
because they jump and then in mid-air they close like a mousetrap.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then it express back out there.
On that clip, I seen that clip. The two Johnnies done attempts
themselves.
Did you see it?
Yeah.
And what was the most? 1.7 or something?
I can't remember, but
it was under 2 meters anyway.
Yeah.
And they thought they were doing great, and then the tape comes in. Lads like, we definitely didn't jump half that. It is a fair achievement.
No, it is, and I suppose. Yeah, I don't know where we're going here with the tangent, but I suppose you were talking about the speed of the speed of the women, and I suppose the style of the women, and all the different athletes. But that Netflix documentary Sprint, shows, I suppose, the big personalities there at the top level.
And that's not Netflix. I haven't watched that.
No, is that good?
Sprint is probably worth a watch. All right, to see it's the guys, it's the guys and women at the high level, and just sprinters, just 100 and 200 meter sprinters.
Wow.
So. Noel Lyles will be featured in Kenny Bednarick, a few different, but
I'll watch that definitely. Talk to me about. Let's get on to your training philosophy. What's your approach to training? Talk to me about the insights into it. I want to know.
Yeah, it's good. Good question again. I suppose it's always evolved over the years. Mum is my coach. Martina McCarthy's my S&C coach.
Your mother coaches you?
Yeah, Tricia.
She coaches me.
Talk to me about that dynamic. Obviously, you're married. Congratulations on the wedding, by the way, recently. Fair play to you.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're not living at home.
No.
And when you're living at home and your mum is your coach, talk to me about that dynamic.
Yeah, look, I'm not simple to deal with. Probably gets. Yeah, it's hard to, I suppose, separate it in ways sometimes, and it's kind of can be over consuming, of course, sort of in the house, or maybe talking about it when we shouldn't be talking about it, and
no escape, right?
No escape is the word, maybe. Yeah, so Mum would have coached me the whole way up. We would have got ideas from here, there, and everywhere, and knocked on doors and asked questions. And Paul Hessian is the national record holder for the 200 meters. We made sure that we met his coach and asked questions and what did you do, and went over there and spent a week there as well. Like, this is a long time ago, and tapped into the likes of Johnny Coughlin, Terry Call, over the years. There's Derville's old coach, and lots of different, like Jonas Dudu in England, and after Tokyo I probably made a coach. I did make a coaching switch to Shea McCormack, Phil Healy's coach down in Waterford, and maybe that didn't click the way we wanted it to click. And so look, it's varied each year. There is obviously some staples, but no year has ever looked the same. And this year is probably no different as well. Mama's back coaching me now, and we're running.
Mum ran a bit, really, didn't she?
She did, yeah. She was a good athlete as well, and I suppose when she's been there and done that, and she understands, and I trust her, and I think that's a big part of it as well. And
still walking the grounds.
She is still walking, yeah. They're in training too, but so yeah. Look, we're doing okay at the minute. Ran a 100-meter PB recently, which was waiting around a long time for, which was good to get. And like, look, we're 4 days a week running. We're 2 days a week gym. It was 3. We're back to 2. Some days are heavy days, like I might double up a day, might run and gym, and another day might just solely be running or solely gym. And
how important is your food when you're out running and gym?
Food is big as well. Like, we've got to eat right as well. You know, that's a big thing. You're watching everything. You're always, I suppose, and different times of the year. Like, so maybe last month now you could have been a bit more like flexible around things, but now like competitions coming up in January, so you're trying to tighten up in
What's
areas.
your Christmas dinner look like?
I was about to ask that. Why? Any spares? No.
No, it's normal. I think like I think again, like, you know, this thing around, you know, we're just normal, you know, the athletes. I suppose sometimes when you see Olympians, you might think they're superhuman sometimes as well.
I think
like,
they are.
It was just, you know, I think it's achievable. And but yeah, we are always watching what we're eating as well, and trying to, you know, sleep, all that stuff. You know, like you're always kind of trying to do the right thing.
Talk to me about the evolution of recovery. That's like, you see recovery hubs popping up. You see outdoor saunas. You see dunk pools. You see the cryo. You see the leg sleeves.
People are getting into the river.
Yeah, but into the sleep, the recovery. Yeah. Like, talk to me about the evolution of that, and would you've seen it going where it's gone to? Because it's nearly bigger than a session now, isn't it?
Yeah, and sometimes I find it hard to understand that, and maybe it's me, but again, I just think there's no substitute for hard work. And sometimes I feel like people, like, maybe are recovering, and I'm kind of like, well,
did you work hard enough to recover?
Make sure you do the work as well, you know, that kind of way. Yeah. But no, look, it's definitely a big part, and it's important as well. And sleep is the best thing, you know. And there is obviously various other different methods. And to be honest, I feel like me, as the more I've gone on as well, the more I'm focused on trying to be right. I need a long time to warm up now, even as well. So, like, I am trying to make sure that the body's okay, and I'm probably more in tune with my body as well. But I definitely think, like, a lot of that stuff, it is important, and I'm not knocking it, but I sometimes I feel like there's a focus on the icing on the cake stuff, whereas I just think you need to get your big things in, you know, and your workload, and you need to, you know, keep ticking the boxes of what's really, really required for the event, you know.
Does that recovery thing almost run like has it become a fad?
There's definitely fads out there, you know, there is, and I suppose some things work for some people. Some, I wouldn't knock anyone, you know, if it's working for some people, and the, you know, a particular method of recovery, and like let's go for it, and once they know it's working for them, well then happy days, you know. But yeah, it's an interesting one, you know. But look, it's important. There's no point in saying otherwise. You have to recover, because otherwise you're not. Like,
in coaching, I think the two big changes for me looking as a coach has been activation and recovery. So recovery has gone from foam rollers to trousers, basically, that compresses your legs. Activation has gone from static stretching to dynamic stretching to core activation to bands. Right? But the one thing that hasn't changed is the game.
No.
So if you put that at sprinting, and you've said at the very start, and I'm so delighted you said it, the one thing that hasn't changed is you have to run as fast as you fucking can.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and everything else evolves and changes around it, but the actual event itself will never change. And I don't think that them things, maybe I'm wrong, attest to where records been broken, to personal. I think that's, you said it, hard work.
Yeah, and the body hasn't changed either, guys, you know, and yeah, look, it's I think I'm a believer, and I suppose my team are a believer maybe in doing the simple things well as well. You know, there's doing the basics very well, and yeah, this icing on the cake stuff, the 1%ers, you know, but you have to do your big chunks first, you know.
Yeah.
And I think that's the most important thing, and that's the way I view it anyway, you know. But yeah,
Your philosophy is hard work anyway. It's clear, right?
yeah, and I'd like to think I definitely am not shy on that front anyway. But it's about being smart as well, you know. Input isn't, you have to be smart about it. You know, you can overcook it as well. You can certainly undertrain too, but I think if you overcook it and go over the fine line, that's when things start breaking down, and you're in trouble then if you're injured, you know. So
yeah, it's you're flirting with it, aren't you?
Well, the injuries tend to happen when you're in super shape as well. You know, when you're at your absolute best, because your body probably hasn't travelled at this speed before, and maybe it needs to, you know, get used to that, or
something has to break, doesn't it?
Yeah, or even when you're starting back training after a period of time off, you know, we're kind of 11 months of the year, you know, you get your September off, or depending on the calendar or whatever. But when you come back into it, you have to build up slowly, because your body, you know, you can be going from running super fast in August, and then you have time off and you're going into a bit of winter training. Your body has to readapt to, I suppose, running fast again, you know. So,
yeah, that's very interesting, and that's obviously you're not going to get your top speed straight off the bat for coming back from an injury.
No,
you have to build to it again, like.
Yeah, and in some ways, injuries, you know, often I've got injuries and I've actually worked harder than ever before, because there's so much you can do when you're injured as well. I don't think it's a point of kind of downing tools at that point either, you know. So, but yeah, look, it's
funny you say that, because we actually had a strongman on last week, and he was saying that when he hurt one of his biceps, whichever the opposite one was never as strong. So he just worked on that so much, and he just like he was
crazy,
yeah, it was ridiculous. I have one last question for you, right? And we could talk so much more about everything, but the one question I want to ask you is this, and I'm interested in this to know: when you are running a personal best, when do you know it's a personal best? Do you have an idea during the actual
race?
Yeah. I'll go on the most recent personal best I ran, which was last year, and I actually knew before I lined up that day that I was going to run a PB.
Oh, shut up.
How
did you know that?
I'm basing it off times in training and stuff. I knew it was coming, but it was a frightening place to be in, because I hadn't been in it a couple of years. That sounds funny, but I just said I just have to do this right, and it'll be grand. It'll come out. Like, the time will look after itself if I just focus on what I have to focus on. And I knew nearly from the moment I exited the blocks, you know, there was a nice day. The wind was with me. I had a good time in training the week before, kind of knew it was going to come to that. But it was just a case of doing what had to be done, and the time would take care of itself. So you don't really know, I suppose. And as I said, every race is different. But sometimes you can feel when you're going well, and you feel strong, and you feel in good shape. It's hard to describe, I suppose, but that particular most recent one, I knew it was kind of in good form. But yeah, look, they don't come around that often. There's a lot of bad races too. So
yeah.
But yeah, I suppose, look, we're just always trying to be a little bit better. Yeah.
Would you go to the Olympics if you don't qualify to look at it as a spectator? Would you find it too hard?
I'd say that'd be quite hard to do.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't, to be honest, because I suppose your
Sit
focus.
with them normals.
But no, like it's some people just love the whole occasion. And like other people would say, I do love it, but it's too hard to be
If you
there
were
because I
retired,
want to play, I want to run or whatever.
If you're a retired athlete, I could see you going and enjoying it.
But that's why I
right?
asked him when he's still running.
Yeah.
But if you were still competing at the top level and you missed out by a fraction and you're going there to support.
No, well, I didn't go to Paris. I didn't really want to go to Paris either.
I understand that though, do you?
Yeah,
Oh, absolutely understand it, yeah.
So, but yeah, look, and then again, I'm a big supporter of my teammates and big supporter of Team Ireland, but I suppose when your sole goal is to get there as an athlete, I find
You're
it
a bigger
very hard
supporter
to
of Team
go.
Marcus, right?
Team number 1.
Is your wife an athlete?
She's not an athlete, but she's very involved in sport as well. She completed the marathon last year.
Congratulations.
So
Cause I'm just wondering, is it a topic of conversation when you get home?
Warren's probably fed up listening to me talking about athletics and stuff. So it's look, as I say, it can be overly consuming as well, because it is a 24-hour day thing and 7 days a week and 11 months of the year. So yeah, but look, we do talk about it. And look, she's a great supporter and
she's a fan, like she enjoys sport and
of
not
course.
like she's not.
And she's supported me through everything that I've done as well. So no, it's good to have her on my team as well. And there is a small team around me, and I trust them. So yeah,
and that's important, right?
Yeah.
Brilliant. Anyway, quick fire questions are next, Marcus. It's brought to us by your neighbourhood cafe and roastery on Barrack Street, Carlow, securing and roasting single origin specialty coffee for cafe, wholesale and retail, making the world a better place, one neighbourhood coffee at a time. Hashtag.
Fire. I'll probably hum and haw over some of these.
Yeah, they're never quick, because I always interrupt them.
They're never like one answer, move on to next question. But
check them out on neighbourhoodcoffee.ie. Hashtag love where you live. Hashtag pop is a prick. Only joke. Anyway, over to you, Paul.
Yeah. First one, we've a couple 9 or 10 here for you, Marcus. First one, 100 or 200?
200 all the way.
Simple as that.
Yeah.
Favourite track you've ever raced on?
Morton Stadium in Santry is super. Yeah. My home track that I train on, SCTU Carlow, is also fast.
Out at the new one?
South Sports Campus, yeah.
I was never out there.
Yeah.
It's meant to be really impressive, is it?
It's fantastic,
yeah, that's what I do in my training. So I haven't raced there enough, so I'd like to get another race or two in there. Yeah.
Is there big races out there? Was that the
there's a few
national
level races, probably, and schools level races and stuff. They host a lot of competition, so it's good venue. But yeah, God, the more I think now as well, like, you know, that World University Games is in Napoli. That's the stadium where Maradona and Co played. You know, there's a certain feeling around that stadium too. You know, that kind of hard to describe. That kind of the aura, is it? I don't know. You know,
I think it's built like a coliseum, isn't it? It's like
that's the correct word.
It's competitive.
Yeah.
Or competitive?
Yeah.
My wife kills me on this because she also get words wrong the whole time. I said something last week is absolutely outrageously stupid, but yeah.
One word to describe your racing style.
Ka-chow.
Aggressive.
Good.
And my S&C coach would probably kill me for that, because there's a certain element of relaxation, a big element of relaxation required for sprinting.
In the race?
I often find that contradictory, because it's a sprint and you're trying so hard, but my coaches are always like, drop your shoulders, you know, jelly jaw, relax.
Yeah.
So there is a certain element of relax and flow.
I would have associated that with sprinting.
Yeah, I would have said
it's like tense.
You coil.
Yeah.
Almost like the spring effect.
Yeah, there's a certain element of that coming out of the blocks, all right, but my coaches would kill me.
How important is form?
Really important, and I'm guilty of sometimes shoulders coming to the ear. Sometimes, you know, just let it relax, let it flow, and
I'd say it's very hard.
Yeah, because you're trying so hard and you're hitting massive speeds, massive forces going through your legs, and I am aggressive when I run, I think.
Yeah.
So you're trying to balance that with relaxation. And you look at the 100-meter final, I suppose, in the Olympics and stuff. All these guys will have jelly jaws, like,
yeah, you can see
relaxed.
Yeah.
Is that what made you saying so good? I was just so chill.
Yeah, there's certain definitely.
Do you know, he was the comedian in the whole stadium, like.
But do you know what? When you say, like, run with a smile on your face, like, do you know what I mean? he just epitomised that. Like, he was just there for a good time, man.
Yeah. And that helped me relax as well. That kind of mindset going in, you know, that day in the Olympics for the running with a smile on your face. But
just not as fast as you
Did
were
you ever meet the
saying.
great man?
Right.
Did you ever meet the great man?
No, I didn't. I didn't actually.
He never met Marcus either, so.
No.
Yeah, no. You
One
met
Olympian,
him.
another. Yeah.
Go to pre-race snack.
Oh. Probably like maybe banana, I'd say. Yeah, nothing exciting.
Disgusting.
I'll tell you what's more disgusting. There's a new thing well, it's not a new thing anymore, but these races with lactic acid, when it build-ups in a 400, is this sodium bicarbonate that they're taking over for years.
Almost telling us about it.
Yeah, so guys were used to take this to, like, you know, raw, but now it's coming in a better form.
Like a froob.
Yeah,
it's like the one you squeeze.
Yeah.
Are you on that? No.
I have taken it for the 400 a couple of times.
It's good for lactic, though. He was saying it's revolutionary. Like,
I think it works. It buffers lactic, which is our lactic
thing
or
in
whatever
recovery,
right science term behind that is. But I think it works. But it's disgusting. But it does work. Yeah, and I remember
and
guys taking
bad is good
that.
for you.
Yeah,
that's a fact. Yeah.
Beetroot juice is another one.
Oh, what's that?
It dilates the blood vessels and means that the oxygen can.
Oh, like instead of like you're doing Lance Armstrong the right way, like.
Well, yeah.
The legal version.
You're not hanging in your attic.
Legal.
We might not go down that road because doping is another big thing in athletics.
Well, you ever actually? Sorry, no, I know it's quick fire. Talk to me. I meant to ask you about that. Have you ever been tested?
Yeah, I was in when you're funded by Sport Ireland, you're on a testing pool, so you basically have to show an hour a day where you're available for testing. Like, they call to the house and test you there and then, or they come unannounced. And obviously tested the competitions and stuff as well. So but yeah,
what if you happen to be at like a reggae concert and someone was, do you know what I mean? Smoking a spliff beside you and it kind of blew into you, like.
Yeah.
I don't know how that
That'd
works
panic
now.
me now. That'd panic me if I was
Well, I'm always panicked with that stuff. I you know, if I got a dose or like there's certain limb sips or things that are you know, you're always watching these things and looking up these things. Am I okay to take this?
Yeah.
You know, and if you're sick or something, you know, and we're always constantly watching that. But I was in the testing pool and they come kind of unannounced. But like if you if you're away though as well, you just drop into the app that I'm staying in Dublin tonight, and whatever, you know. So,
and obviously they'll give you a list of illegals if you like.
There is an app on the phone where you look up and if you're
scan the barcode,
type in the whatever it is and see if it gives you a green light or a red light. If it's red light, don't take it, and if it's green light, you're good to go. So
that'd wind me up if I was ever that level.
It's a worry zone, you don't want, isn't it?
100%. And me and worry don't go together, to tell you the truth. Anyway.
Earphones in or out during the warm up?
Earphones in for the most part. Yeah.
What you listen to? What was he
all
podcast?
Sorts mad stuff. That probably I suppose going back to Tokyo. I actually started listening to Irish songs in my ears.
Oh, go away.
Because I thought it really. Don't know why.
Did it give you a patriotic edge?
I think it did give me something. Yeah, it's hard to describe that. Yeah.
That's deadly.
But again, it was
that falls in with pride, right?
Yeah, there was that definitely. Yeah, 100%. Now that you say that, actually,
You look at the greatest walkout that I always say in UFC history is
Sinead O'Connor.
Conor McGregor walking out with the Irish flag wrapped around him. Sinead O'Connor singing up over his head.
Yeah, and there's a certain
even though
thing with
he's
that,
come out to that song before, where it's double barrels in the two different songs.
Yeah.
To actually have Sinead O'Connor there.
Haunting. I'll give you a more recent one. The NFL game in the Aviva, right? Lyra singing the national anthem that day was was.
I didn't hear it now, but yeah.
Man, that was like.
Yeah, the national anthem is something that really gets me going as well. So it's but yeah, again, probably down to that pride thing. Yeah.
But sure, but don't. I know we've gone off the fucking quick fire questions, but like, how many times have you heard an Olympic winner or seen them break down when they talk about hearing their national anthem being played as they're at number one on the podium?
Well, Kieran McGean would often refer to that, and she's had the privilege of standing on number one and around the Veen playing, and she'd often refer to it, So
yeah,
yeah, it must be.
you can visualize all you want, but
Mhm.
you would never be able to visualize that.
No.
No.
That's a special one for sure. Also, have earphones in, it kind of maybe deters people maybe from coming over when you're warming up. You
Yeah,
don't want
leave
the
me alone,
distraction.
sort of, yeah.
Would you be sociable in that sense? Like if you seen someone you know from wherever, would you high five and say, "Well, what's the story?" Or
Yeah, in moments, and in other moments maybe I'm unapproachable. My manner maybe isn't.
but I don't see that as a bad thing, though.
Yeah, but look, I try
You're
to
there
be.
to do a job. You're there to
Yeah,
All right, Ray Keane.
yeah.
jar, aren't you?
I'll call rooms and warm up areas can be mad places.
I'd say they're
people
quite
kinda-
cold places, are they?
What's that?
I'd say they're quite cold places, like, as in like
yeah,
approachable cold. Do you know?
Yeah, what?
Favorite athlete growing up?
Paul Hessian was the one that I really looked up to. He's the Irish record holder for 200. As far as I'm concerned, Israel Olatunde has the 100-meter national record holder, but Paul was king of sprinting. I think.
Did you have a relationship with him? Did you know him well?
I met him a couple of times. I trained with him. I used to go up after school on a Friday to train with Johnny Coughlin's group, and Paul was in that group, so it was good to. He was in his last year of his career, and I was probably starting.
Did you take much from
him? Yeah, look, I always listen, and I probably took maybe more from his coach, maybe. But there's good videos and stuff of him racing and interviews and stuff that I listen to, and
okay.
Yeah, I think he often talks about Anne Gillick, I suppose, putting your own kind of paddling your own canoe and putting your own team and structure around you, you know, and so he was probably the one that I looked up to. Yeah,
brilliant. Yeah. Hardest workout you do?
There's so many hard sessions. It's hard to put my finger on one. There's a session we do that's. It's literally 4 by 250 meter runs, 4 250s. That's it, and it sounds small on paper, but sprinter reps are different, and that's extremely difficult. Lactic builds up very, very quickly there.
Because you have to be doing the same pace every time, right?
Yeah, we actually try to get progressively quicker with it as well. So, but they're not full tilt. But yeah, I actually find explosive stuff in the gym, even though there's only maybe anywhere between 1, 2, 3, 4 reps. Find that's really hard to do, but I like doing them as well. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Best part of being a sprinter?
I think there's no better feeling, and I don't think the body can do anything more extreme than sprint at your fastest capacity. I don't think our body's capable of doing anything more in terms of athleticism. It's the most aggressive, most extreme thing.
In terms of thing you can control, because you can jump up a plane, right?
Yeah.
Do you know?
Yeah, well, that just wasn't an adrenaline rush there. Yeah,
I suppose I would agree with you, but but within your control.
Yeah.
So so what I think is, and we're on the opposite scales, right? Of speed. There's no doubt about that. I'm the slowest person in the county, but like, it must be some hit of endorphin when you have hit your top speed.
Yeah, coming off that bend in a 200 and you're winding it up.
Yeah.
There's no better feeling than that. Yeah.
I can imagine that, yeah.
And we actually have a technique in training called overspeed, which it is what it says on the tin. You get towed along, and that gets uncontrollable at times, and your legs start spinning. It's a dodgy game.
Is that on a treadmill?
No, you're on the track. There's a harness wrapped around your waist, and it's pulling you from the front. And
who's pulling you?
It's a pulley system. Like
the rabbit on a
greyhound
string.
Kind of, yeah, it's pulling you forward.
Is that not dangerous?
It is a risk.
Obviously, there's security brake on it, right?
Well, I can just cut the tie. I can just break it. That just falls off. The hook is hooked the other way, so it's not hooked that way. So it's hooked that way, so the rope actually falls off. And It's a risky one.
That's close to an injury, though, is it?
It is close to an injury, yeah. Yeah.
Never heard of that.
Yeah.
Did you ever use the parachutes? Speed parachutes?
Well, that's the other end of the scale. So not parachutes, but we do resisted sprints as well with a sled out behind us and pull it like Santa's reindeer. So that's another good one to do as well.
You get to your top speed, whatever that is. Is this pulley system a couple of kilometres faster than what your top speed is?
Yeah.
So they're trying to get, oh wow.
You're trying to get your legs turning over quicker than what your body can do, yeah. So
you wouldn't do that often, though.
That's exactly the trick with it. So you might do 2 runs and it's such a shock to the nervous system that you'd probably just...
Jeez, you want a week in Tenerife all inclusive.
Shut it down after that, yeah. And you mightn't touch it again.
A buffet every night.
You know, it's a kind of a 3 times a year thing. Like,
yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
And it's 2 reps per session, so it could be 6 reps in the year.
And it's just 100 or 200?
Well, no, it only pulled you for probably max 30 meters.
Oh, is that all, is it?
Yeah. So I might be even, doing it maybe less, yeah.
Worst part of being a sprinter?
I think you just said it, the fucking pulley system.
Yeah.
Worst part of being a sprinter? I don't think there is anything. I like what I do. There's nothing that I can say that, you know, there's... No, yeah.
Good man.
Yeah.
PB you're most proud of?
My 200 metre PB in Cork City Sports in 2018, which is old now. It's an old PB. I haven't hit it in a while.
What was it, Marcus?
It was 20.40. The national record is Paul Hession, 20.30. And I just think that's kind of the territory that is really good running. You know, that 2030 mark is
can you get
class.
Would you be confident that you're there now?
Thought I was there at the end of last year. I think it was actually post Paris. Actually, I thought I got into a really good order. I thought it was going to run a little bit closer to it than I did. I hit a 20.5.
That's Olympic standard, all right.
It would have been a qualifier for the Rio Olympics in 2016. 20.5, yeah.
But it's changed since, as you were saying.
It's moved on, yeah. So, but I think it was. I thought it was on my plate last year. Didn't quite just work out, but we'll go again.
Yeah.
Last one. Spike's brand of choice.
I'm running a New Balance at the moment, so.
Are you sponsored?
No, I had previous sponsorships at Adidas and Joma. But
how did you go from Adidas to Joma? No disrespect to Joma.
Yeah, no, you're right, because I often refer to that in the schools as well when the kids ask me, you know, you sponsor, and I was like, oh, well, Adidas, and then downgrade to Joma, but he just went to what I was given at the time. Beggars can't be choosers, and there was an offer there, and I went with it for the year. So
brilliant.
That's the quick fire questions.
Lads, quick reminder about our website. You can catch up on all the past episodes, keep up with what's new. There's a newsletter on the way too. We have our Fantastic 5 on it. We also have a shop on it. Visit www.howishe.ie. You can have a look around on the shop. You can get, where's the camera? That hard camera there.
This one, is it?
That one there. You can get this jersey, and that's for you, Marcus.
Oh,
thanks for coming on.
Thanks, lads.
When you're in LA at the Olympics, you have to wear that when you're warming up, okay? Or we'll go over and take it back off you, one or the other.
That's great. Thanks a million for that, lads.
Okay, it's that time. We hand the mic to Boss Bitch CEO Bob Wearer, Shannon
Straight
Redmond.
from the Pacific Ocean.
Yeah, man, you got scotch, get over it.
No.
Anyway, we have Shannon's Curveball. It's kindly sponsored by Brew.ie, your go-to place for website design and marketing and content creation. Brew.ie, 3 W's. Craig is over it. Gentleman, the safest pair of hands in Carlow, some would say. That's Brew with 3 W's. Shannon, what do you got first? What are you looking at me there for?
I don't know.
Jezebel eyes. What you got?
Do you know my brother used to call me the googly-eyed monster?
No interest.
He's like this to me. Just go googly, googly, googly.
Zero interest.
Do you know what you can do?
She just flipped from Messenger.
Chill out. No
Nails,
interest. Yeah.
Face, eyes
So what
out.
you can do now, you can take a long walk.
Yeah. Can shove that up your arse. Anyway, go on. Should have said that. Is that low? Anyway,
Probably not.
I'm giddy myself. It's only Tuesday.
You're a bit bowled is what you are. Okay, so what I've done is I've taken, I think I've incorporated the both of you into this question.
Okay.
All right.
Incorporate.
Yeah.
Your bracelets are fabulous.
Oh, now he likes me.
They're new bits everywhere, girl.
Yeah, the Pennes version of it.
Oh, Pennes from France. Well done.
France, the south of France.
They're fabulous.
Okay, so
He's a big flirt, isn't he?
sure, just because he feels bad, he thinks he's going to cut his wages or something.
It was a pure guilt compliment.
Yeah. There's your good.
Anyway, come on, go on with this.
Well, sure, will you let me? Right. It's a would you rather question.
Oh, yeah, I like them.
Okay. Would you rather never have to wait at traffic lights again?
Yep.
Or never have to wait for your food again? Now, let me put you into context.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, let me put it into context.
I'll just take a back seat here.
Right, so I don't mean like waiting 5 minutes for your food. I mean, do you know when you're in a restaurant and people who've come in after you are getting their food before you and you're
that shouldn't
raging.
You're the one where you're always checking your watch.
Yeah.
And it's not
that
because
thing.
it's a nice watch, it's because the waiter walks past, you're just throwing Shelby, throwing the watch up on them.
So like never, ever, ever, or the really intense traffic lights where you're stuck in ages.
Despite what you might think.
Yeah, but then you can't get to the food if you're stuck in the traffic lights.
Well, this is your choice. You can only choose one.
And I'm intrigued by Podge's
Papa,
answer.
the question isn't in relation to the logistics to get to the restaurant.
No.
They're not interjoined.
Come on here, honey monster.
Wow. Despite what the public might think, despite what our 5 followers might think, right?
Have we got 5?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would sacrifice the food to get through traffic lights quicker all day, every day. No doubt about it.
I would be.
I knew what your answer was.
No, I would be the same.
Yeah.
Because obviously you're not going for food on your own. You're sitting down with your partner or a couple of couples, and you're like having a nice conversation. So what? About
Yeah.
the
No,
food?
but you
if the
are
food takes an hour or an hour and a half.
Starving though.
Yeah, but if someone comes in behind me and gets the food before me, then
Yeah,
I'm going up. to the
that has
counter.
happened.
But you wouldn't complain about it though.
No, I wouldn't.
Why wouldn't you?
Would you?
But sure, why are you getting it before me?
Sure, it could be hard.
No, you're
Listen.
sitting down. You're sitting down for a meal here now.
Yeah.
You're not getting a takeaway an abracadabra. You're sitting down for a meal.
Yeah.
You're there 20 minutes. Halfway through your first drink, the crack is mighty. You're after ordering. All of a sudden, then these people walk in. Yes, her bracelets are lovely. The Pennes version.
Yeah.
Back to the bracelet.
Yeah.
But if
Right?
you're
And
on
then
the
they walk in with a
continent,
couple. Whether just say the same amount of people. So there's
Yeah.
4 of us and 4 of ye. Why are they getting their dessert and their fucking main course? I haven't got me fucking or not dessert, their starter.
They're
and
starting
their
their main course.
and I haven't got anything yet.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to ask a question.
would you pop?
Oh yeah.
But if you're on the continent, they always come, like, as soon as you sit down, bread is dropped.
Yeah.
A nice bit of dip in oil. Do you know what I mean? A
Very- he goes very fancy.
few
places.
olives, few olives there. I'm not
Sounds
even a
like
fan of
garage
olives.
getting
but
a card
I
on.
mean,
I'd say dips it in the aisle.
do you know what I mean? They different, like. No, if it was a tapas restaurant, it'd wind me up, I'd say. Because I like the food. Do you know what I mean? I like being in a position where I don't know what's coming next.
Yeah.
I know I've ordered 15 things, but I don't know what order they're going to come out.
Okay.
And when it gets to like 6 or 7, that one is usually a super surprise that you weren't expecting.
Did you
Like,
forgot?
oh, nice one, beef croquettes. Forgot I
about
ordered them.
Yeah.
So a tapas, I could snap. But in general in life,
Flip the table.
I would wreck the place. I know the traffic lights, because I recently brought my mother to an appointment in the Beacon last Tuesday, and I don't know if anyone knows the Beacon, but you turn on into Sandyford and you have to go right and right to get into the Beacon car park. Right, the traffic was about a quarter of a mile back, and I was actually convinced that there was an accident or there was something ahead. And my mother was in the car with me, and she actually says to me, "I'm ashamed of you. Your
'cause you were
temper, your
snapping.
temper is ridiculous." My mother, like, do you know what I mean? And I just thought I'd never get through the traffic. I was literally, we were an hour and 15 waiting
Oh,
to go 40 yards.
That's annoying now.
Yeah.
I actually don't like, unless I'm going to be late for something, unless I have a time that I need to be. So if I'm coming home from work, I'm not fazed by traffic at all.
Is that
I could
because you
sit
go on
for
your
an hour.
phone?
Oh, I never pick up my phone. Not even in traffic. It was betting to me. I'm not
Or at
allowed.
the garage, you can tell it's a Drew here. You know?
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not allowed. If my father caught wind, I was
Yeah.
using my phone while I was driving.
Can I give you a little? Can I give you a little bit of something I heard you there blew my mind?
Mm.
Where do you think people think the most now?
In the shower.
And
In the car, it says.
in the car,
Yeah.
and it's the only place up to now where you're not relying on a device,
Yeah.
where you're not looking at a laptop or television or your phone. So you're in the shower and in the car.
But
And that's when you're true
If I had a
thoughts.
choice, Podge, I'd throw my phone away.
No, you wouldn't.
Would.
I don't think you
No,
would.
wouldn't.
But you know the thing is though,
You wouldn't.
Phone calls I would, but no, I don't enjoy my phone.
people always say to me, do I hate the commute to work? It's only 40 minutes either side, right? But that's my favourite part of the day. driving to work or driving home from work.
I
40 minutes, it's bliss.
I would drive till the cows come home.
Yeah.
I would. I love driving.
I was like, nothing else. I
Love
have to be focused in that time. But anyway, that's it. I'd say
No,
the traffic
definitely,
lights.
I'd say the traffic lights.
No, you
I
wouldn't.
wouldn't.
You'd wait for your food.
I'd wait for the food.
yeah, sorry.
No, I'd say the traffic lights.
Traffic
All right,
lights.
That was a good one.
that's
Low
Would you
gas.
rather have hair for teeth or teeth for hair? I'll leave that one with you. Give your answer next week. Okay, all the best.
What a guy.
Would you have hair for teeth or teeth for
Pod
hair?
style. What a guy.
See you later.
Thanks, Shannon.
Thanks, Shan. Okay, lads. Once again, that episode is sponsored by Carl Estimating. I'm sorry again. I have no fucking glasses, so I do apologise. For all the construction and tendering and estimating needs, check them out at carlestimating.ie and other social channels. Marcus, thanks so much for coming on. You've been our first Olympian. I'm a little bit disappointed about the Olympic Village. Why didn't you make Paris, or why didn't you make Rio before? But anyway, you're an Olympian, and it's an honour to sit in front of an Olympian. And thanks so much for coming on. And the very best luck in the season ahead in the indoors, and I hope you make Birmingham. That from Bob.
Look, it's like I said, it's our first Olympian. I know his family very well. Lovely fella, lovely family, and I just get the impression off you that, they say your bark is worse than your bite. I'd say your bite is worse than your bark. You're a very determined man, and I think you'll get where you're going to go. And I hope you beat that 2030. I would love to see that.
Yeah, thanks for the well wishes, lads, and thanks for having me on.
We'll keep an eye on you, bud.
I meant to ask you, I know you're working in development. Is that something, development officer, is that something that you want to do, pursue as in coaching?
Yeah, so right now I'm a regional development officer for Athletics Ireland, and I suppose my parish or my area is Carlow, Kilkenny, the clubs, and
You're not a priest, but
also the other 50% of that role is in SETU Carlow, so in charge of the athletics program there.
Brilliant.
And I think coaching is something that I enjoy. I do feel like I could give back maybe when my, I suppose, career is finished and stuff as well.
Brilliant.
I am currently doing a little bit, but I'd love to take on more. I think there's even within team sports, I think I know I've worked with soccer teams, worked with rugby teams, worked with GA teams, and that this area of like speed development and trying to get these lads faster. And
I'm fascinated by it.
yeah, I think there's definitely room to improve there. And for team sports, I think there's an area that can be tapped into there. And so probably coaching is certainly an area that would interest
How
me.
impressive is that college now towards what it was 10 years ago? Phenomenal, isn't it?
SETU, you have basically world-class track, super facilities, so no excuse in terms of being in an environment. I studied there and now I'm working there, and it's it's a good environment to be in. It's a good place to be in terms of trying to get better. And it's and look, I think it's growing. And there's great people there, and people are everything really, because I suppose the facilities can probably be matched in certain universities as well, maybe and other venues, but the people there are brilliant as well. And I think that's a big thing, because it's all about the people around you,
Well, I know this is the longest outro of all time, but what strikes me about that college, and I understand there's a funding system and all that, I think they're actually what's keeping Carlow alive.
Yeah.
It's a massive part of it anyway, that's for sure.
I think, and that's no disrespect to any business owner or anyone in Carlow or anything like that. Everyone does their bit, and I support local, absolutely. But when you look at what I said you were putting in place out there now, like you're talking world-class facilities, like academically, sport-wise, course-wise, what they offer. Like I think they're actually keeping Carlow alive.
Yeah, and now in terms of sport as well, probably leaning on that, but have their connections with Athletics Ireland, obviously through my own role, connections with FAI and connections with GA and the rugby side as well. So
there are a few,
there's the connections are there and established, and I think that's only positive in terms of sport, for the sports side of things, as well. So yeah.
Absolutely. Anyway, I said longest outro ever.
Fantastic.
That is it for this episode of the Hosey Podcast. If you enjoyed it, make sure to like, follow and share. We're on all the podcast and social platforms, and pop it. By the end of this week, we're a week ahead. I think we've just got under 100,000 downloads.
It's not bad, is it?
Not a week, no. Since we started. If you don't like us, lads, give us a listen next week and give us a share, and we might be better. Anyway, it's not my podcast.
Not my podcast.
Butchered that, didn't I? It's Carlow Podcast. It's your podcast. Good luck and God bless.
That's full time on this week's episode of the Housey Podcast, available on all podcasting platforms. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter/X. Proudly sponsored by Amplify. Got a story to tell? A voice that needs to be heard? Get in touch with us here in Amplify, Carlow Town's professional home for podcasters of all kinds. We can be found on Instagram at Amplify Podcast Studio. Amplify, power up your podcast.